Hi, my name is Zhejian Pan, and this is my reflection for my 2-week placement in Luther College. So first, I'll talk about the rules and routines I observed from the two classes. The first one is Year 8 Digital Technology class, and the second one is Year 11 Applied Computing class. The rules I observed is that students were expected to arrive on time and be ready with their laptop, and also students needed to listen to teachers and another student while another student was speaking. And also students need to stay on task, only use the laptop, only use devices for learning purpose. They cannot playing games on their laptops. And the last one is that students can access their mobile phones only after gets permission from the teacher. So so in Luther College, students are allowed to bring their mobile phones to the campus, but they can only use that after get permission from the teacher. And also, so each student they will have their own laptops, but yeah, because of laptops, so they can have some video games on laptops. So sometimes students, so every teacher I observed, they mentioned as class and they have to use laptops only for the start for the learning purpose and cannot use them or like playing games. Also, teachers will also walk around the classroom to check that there's no students like working that are playing games on their laptops. And the routines, so all the two teachers I used as example, they have very clear routines for the class. So the first thing is that they have to begin, so at the beginning of class, they will displaying the learning intention and success criteria on the board or upload them to the Omnia, which is like the canvas that the Sweden use, which is a a study learning system. And also, they will have a short warm up, about 3 minutes short warm up to review the prior knowledge before the explicit teaching. And also, the teacher will use a consistent signal as class, like start class, and waiting the student to calm down and calm down. It will take like 5 seconds. And also, the instruction for the activities will be given for students very clearly, step by step. So especially this is very important for year 8 students since we compared with as BC students, the year 8 students, they as teachers will spend more time to let them engage into the class. So if so a very clear step by step task description will help them to find, oh, it's not difficult. It makes them feel like, oh, it's not difficulty. I can do it. I can make it. Will give them like such a feeling of achievement, so they can continuously engage in the classroom tasks. I think it's a very good way for me. It's a very good learning for me to design my own class. And since the two classes, they have many hands-on tasks, so students need to follow a routine of teacher demonstration first. So the all two teachers on the two classes, they will modeling the tasks, how to do the tasks step by step first. Let the student to watch how to do that, and then ask student, and also they will upload the step by step, like menus, like the menu of the tasks to the Omnia system, so students can follow them easily. And also, the teachers will regularly move around the room to check progress and provide feedback. This is very obviously on the digital technology class for year 8, since on that class, students are divided into different groups. Also, at the end of the lesson, students can only pick up when the teacher said, oh, okay, it's time to pick up. And also, before the students leave the classroom, there will be like 2 minutes summary and reflection activity to to reinforce students' memory of the today's learning. So here is about some connections with the teaching strategies I researched and found. So I found that the the rules and routines, it can help to create structure needed for effective teaching and learning. So when students understand the classroom expectations and and follows regular routines at first, so the teacher can spend more time and effort that can using effective teaching strategies such as explicit teaching, modeling, and guided practice. So I think it's very important to the teaching effectiveness. So also about the rules about listening, the teaching is speaking and using devices only for learning, which is also supports the explicit teaching and modeling. In a digital technology class, students need to watch carefully as the teacher demonstrates how to write codes or use the code blocks and explain digital concepts. So without these rules, students may easily become distracted and miss important steps. So routines such as following step-by-step instructions and asking for help use appropriate language and in appropriate timing, and also testing codes before calling and before calling teachers support guided practice and independent learning. So these routines, as I can encourage students to solve problems in an organized way, which is very important in coding lessons. So when it comes to the literacy and numeracy teaching, so the literacy it's more about the teacher's explicit teaching the students to listen to the explicit teaching about the important concepts. And also students were asked to read the instructions on screen and follow step-by-step coding tasks. And also the teacher need to explain key terms verbally, as I mentioned before, and then teacher need to questioning and to encourage students to explain their thinking to their thinkings. And also in the digital technology class, students are divided into groups, as I mentioned before. So students need to practice speaking and listening when discussing solutions with their peers. And also writing is very important because in some tasks, before students start their coding programs, they need to writing uh, their design and solutions and upload it to the Omnia system. So the new so the so the numeracy part, which is more focused on the coding tasks, students into counting steps and placing the instructions in the correct order. Also, the teacher may refer to like timing, repetition, and patterns, especially when teaching for and while loops. Also, students need to apply numeracy when predicting what would happen if, like, the teacher asks if there is a increase or decrease or a change of number in a program. So diversity sports in class, as this one, I want to talk about the platform the teacher used in the year 8 classroom. It's named Microsoft MidCode, which and also with a device called Microbits. So these two devices, it can change the codes to text codes to the different color and different shapes blocks. So students need to drag these blocks and put them together and to create very simple programs. So I think it's very important for the students for those ADHD students is because they have some difficulties to focus their attention on class tasks. And also the students can also use flowcharts to help understand tasks and concepts, which is also very friendly for students to easily understand what they will need to do today to do on class. And also they have some peer support and collaborative learnings because for year 8 students they love socializing to like talking to their peers, although they can learning from their peers. And also it's very important that the classroom the teacher created is a very safe and inclusive. So it can help the students to like feel safe and have feel they can they belong to they are they are one important part of the classroom. It's very important to make sure they have such kind of feeling. So there are some feedbacks for my peers. So first, I think that the most important thing is that we need to establish the clear rules and routines early so students can understand classroom expectations from the beginning. Also, we need to use a very clear, explicit instruction, especially when the teaching we are teaching we are teaching a new or technical concepts to students. So the last thing, but also it's also very important thing is that the end of class should have always a short review reflection to reinforce the key concepts and help students to remember what they have learned in the class. And these are the references I used to the research of connection with the teaching strategies. Thank you.